Yeah, boys to men.
Yeah, boys to men.
You remember Boys to Men, Nige?
Are you kidding me? Of course I do. Although we come to the end of the
Oh, my son, yeah.
road.
And I can't
Let go.
Boy,
It's
man.
unnatural. Yeah. Yeah, boy, put a shirt on.
Close the door. God, you super. Oh, man, I love my kid. Eh? Being a father is great. Nige, how are you, bud?
Oh, dude, I'm good, man. How you doing, Kris?
Bro, I'm all right, man. I'm hot.
Yeah.
You hot?
It's a scorcher, man. It's a scorcher, buddy. Tanks all day for this guy, except for today.
Oh, yeah, totally. Guys, I also just want to say a big hello and welcome to everybody watching from around the world, around Canada, around the globe. Thank you for tuning in. This is the Bit Players Watch Party. My name is Kris Siddiqi.
And I'm Nigel Downer.
Absolutely. And we thought, what better way to spend this quarantine than by watching our show by ourselves and our friends. Well, this is great because you can join us every Tuesday and Thursday. We're showing our episodes every Tuesday and Thursday at 4:20 and having great chats with our buds.
100%. And Kris had mentioned it. We made this show for our friends, and our friends are nerds. So we made it for nerds of color and people of color. We made this thing to represent the people that we hang out with, and also the people that are out there, you know, something that just represents the millions of people of color in Canada that don't get to see themselves represented on the screen. So, hey, why not throw a little web series together and make it happen?
Why not? Now, this is our second episode, Nige. This is shopping day, and this is based off your actual shopping days.
Yeah, 1000%, man. It was so great to see real life experience put down on paper with obviously the help of you. Thank you very much, Kris, to make this a reality. And, you know, we go through a typical day. I mean, when I was much younger, okay, who am I kidding? I still do it every Wednesday.
Hashtag much younger.
Yeah. Hashtag new comic book day. Yeah, so we go through the rigmaroles and it's going to be an adventure.
That's right. So please enjoy the episode and stick around too, because we're talking to one of our favorite people ever in the world who directed 2 of our episodes. So enjoy, everybody. This is episode 2 of Bit Playas called Shopping Day. Hey, we're back.
Oh, what? Okay.
Yeah, hey. Shopping day. So how exact is that? I mean, I know we both wrote it together and we've done everything together, but how exact is that to what happened in real life?
I mean, bang on. I would say it's 93% accurate. It's except for the part where the kid's shirt gets ripped off.
Yeah.
Other than
that was a real dream. We, I remember when we wrote that, we burst out laughing because we were like, that will never happen. And we just watched it happen. So that's kind of beautiful.
Yeah. Huge shout out to Matthew Roswell.
Yes.
Roselle. Matthew Roselle. Thank you very much, my man. He did a great job and summoning all his friends as well, which was hilarious.
Absolutely. And shout out to Pat's Jamaican restaurant as well. That is based on something in real life. Also, me running into our dear friend James Hartnett. Big shout out to our dear friend James Hartnett. That is also something that happened to me in real life. So there's a bunch of real life going on.
I mean, and that's what I love about this series, man, is that we just put ourselves in it. And a lot of the stuff obviously is hyper realized, but it comes from truth, some real truth. And I am still scared of Pat to this day.
Well, we didn't just put ourselves in it, too. We put dear friends of ours. We have the amazing Steph Tolev, of course. Mm-hmm. We got Danny Woodrow hanging out in the back. We got Hannon Eunice with us. We got old Jonathan Langdon, who was the most intimidating Jamaican man. But in real life, he's the most caring, sweet, gentle soul with the best laugh I've ever heard. We've got the best white guy I've ever known in my life, James Hartnett. And of course, like you say, Matthew Roswell, what a kid. He took us ripping that shirt off him like a champ, man.
Yeah, like a real boss. It was a real boss. And it was great to have his parents on set as they should be. And just, they were enjoying it just as much as he was, just as much as we were. And everybody was just having a great time. And I remember just thinking to myself, man, are his parents okay with this? Because we're just like, and we had to do like 3 or 4 takes of this, of just like yanking his shirt off. But it was great. It was really fun.
It was great. And also big shout out to 2 of our very dear friends, Jamie Spurway and Danny Zabal, who did the art and the animation for that opening. That entire opening came to us, and they put it together like just beautiful artists do. So my dear sweet love to them. But more importantly, my dear sweet love to our very special guest that we have coming up right now.
The one, the only, the director of Shopping Day, Allison, Johnston.
Hi. Guys, thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here. I love seeing your faces. Very beautiful boys.
Yo, you got it. How is everything? How are you surviving this quarantine?
Pretty good, actually. I've been in this room that you see behind me for 4 months, and it's working out great.
Listen, I just want to give you, all the compliments on that room. Like the feng shui in there, like it's just beautifully manicured and laid out. The blues and the greens. I mean, it's a gorgeous room. Very gorgeous.
Thanks, guys. Thanks. I really like to have a clean, neat space. But yeah, quarantine's been good. Now that we're able to go outside, I feel like it doesn't even really feel like there's a pandemic in a way, which maybe is bad, but
I know, right?
Lots of people outside hanging out in parks, that kind of thing.
I know, right? Even when I go outside, I'm still really like, even with those people who aren't wearing masks, I'm like, dude, come on. And then people come so close to me, and I'm like, what? Come on.
Oh, people are getting closer than ever during a pandemic.
Dude,
I don't know why they decided now is the time. A lot of people taking up space on the sidewalk.
It's real anxiety inducing, man. But Al, I want to talk to you about just your incredible direction. It was such an absolute honor and pleasure. And I'm so glad you got to direct 2 of our episodes. But that comes from your awesome direction and all those killer music videos you've done within the past few years. What was your first music video you directed?
My first music video was for a Toronto band called the Bicycles. You guys know the Bicycles?
Yeah.
I think that was it. Yeah, and it was kind of like an old, like 60s late night talk show sort of theme, and it was, you know, me and like a couple other people, and it was super fun. A lot of comedians that we know and who are in your show were in it, and yeah, it was great. So that was my first one, I think, and that was maybe, God, I don't even remember when it was. 2012?
Oh, we're so old, man. Jeez.
So old.
No, we're fine. We're young.
Oh,
I gotta hang on to that, Nigel.
I got to, because I got to go to the comic book store and convince people I'm still young. You know what I mean? This is the old weird guy showing up.
Are you doing that? Or are you trying to act like you're like with all
Listen, I'm not trying to act like it. I am for sure. As soon as I walk up the stairs to Silver Snail and I walk in, and I do it every week, and I see the books there, I was like, oh my God.
What would you say the age demographic is?
Oh man, of comic book, I would say that it's gotten older. So I would say the peak demo is probably in your mid 20s to early 40s, and then because we've matured with the writers and illustrators from the 90s, so it's like, so that whole generation. So now there's a newer generation that's grown up with a lot more independent books, as opposed to like the big 3, like, you know, Marvel and DC, and the other third is miscellaneous. But so now there's a lot more independent books that has so much more variety. So now they're not necessarily reading about capes and cows, right? They're reading about all kinds of fun experiences that all kinds of characters and creatures are having in all types of books. So it's fantastic.
That's great.
Do you read any books, Allison?
Yeah.
Never read a book, no.
Okay.
Might try and tackle it during this pandemic, but really stressful.
Bro, we're 3 months into this pandemic. Get on it.
I actually have read a couple comic books. I'm not like, my brother read them growing up, so I used to love looking at all the artwork. That was my favorite part, but I didn't necessarily like really dive into the whole world because there's just like, you know, true fans know so much about it. But I always loved the illustrations. And I have read a couple later in life, and I actually you guys inspired me because I learned so much from you guys during this process. I got some new comic books, but I haven't read them yet. Let me see. I think I have them right here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh man. Okay.
I'm excited. I'm
I
excited.
don't know if you've read them.
Okay.
Gideon Falls. Have you read this?
No.
I've read 2 issues of Gideon Falls.
It's I haven't even started yet, but I did buy all of them.
Awesome.
Yo, you went all in. You went all in.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited to read them. I really like the artwork. And then I also got a new X-Men comic. I haven't read that either, but I have them. So
Yeah, that's all I hate.
every day I think maybe today's the day.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Okay, Al, let me ask you this. What is something, I mean, you know our nerd level. What is something that you are outrageously nerdy about?
Something I'm outrageously nerdy about.
Yeah. Like, what do you know the deep details about something?
It could be like anything, or you mean content related?
Anything.
Okay, I know a lot about cleaning products. Heavy into that, doing a lot of research. What's the best thing to use, especially now? I will tell you a new thing that I'm really into. I don't know the deep knowledge yet, but I'm doing a ton of research, is Stardew Valley. Have you guys ever played that?
You know what?
I'm really into it.
I keep being told to get it and play it, but I haven't done it yet.
It's very fun. I have played video games. I used to play like, you know, Mario Kart and that kind of thing when I was younger, but
yeah.
I never really did a deep dive into them and spend like hours and hours and hours playing until Stardew Valley. And I don't know why. I think it's just because the characters are just tending to a farm, watering plants. This is kind of my style. I'm really into
Yeah.
I'm like going on the internet constantly trying to find out how to have the best crops, how to get the townspeople to like me. And it stresses me out, but it's very fun to dig into that.
Well, you know, a couple things. The first thing is that Kris and I, our friendship is really predicated on video game soundtracks, right? On the music of video games. That's really how we like deep-rooted connected from that moment. And the other thing is that, well, 3 things. And the other thing is that Kris is the video game guy. So he's the one that like can go deep into that conversation. The third thing is I jumped on the Animal Crossing New Horizons bandwagon.
Yes.
And it's very similar in the fact that it's just, you're doing mundane things or everyday things. Listen, if it's raining on my island, I will go back into my house. I would change my wardrobe to a raincoat, an umbrella, and my water shoes, and then I will do my tasks on the island. And then if the skies clear up and it's sunny outside, I will go back in, change into my shorts. Yeah, dude. Put on a branded tee, a hat, and then I'm like, let's go.
Okay, so let me ask this. Is Animal Crossing does it share a similarity with Stardew Valley at all?
I've never actually played Animal Crossing, but I've watched it be played. And it does in the sense that you're tending to things and you're kind of building your world. But I think from what I've heard, and Nigel, tell me if I'm wrong, but I think Stardew gets a little deeper. It's a little more like, I think it gets a little more deeper than Animal Crossing. I don't know.
Okay.
Keep in mind, I've never played Animal Crossing, so really just make
Okay, well, Al, I want to move into this.
You sound like a real pro right now, and I think you're right.
Maybe you can answer this question. I have a picture that I'm going to throw up here and see if you can answer a question for me. What exactly is going on in this picture? Can you explain this?
This picture has caused a lot of drama in my life recently, actually, because it was brought up in woodwork. And my mom had a lot of questions that needed to be answered after I saw this. Okay, so when I was younger, I had a bad habit of sucking my thumb and my fingers.
Yeah.
And my mom thought that it was gonna ruin my teeth, like that it would make them come in crooked and all this stuff.
Yeah, that's a real parental thing. We all think that for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah. But my mom's like, I think most parents kind of worry about it, but then, whatever happens, happens. But my mom is very hardcore that this is insane. Like, so first she tried like putting stuff on my hand so I couldn't do it, and I would like rip into it. And then she put a soother in and she taped my mouth that she claims was a joke, but then she took a full family photo like that. And then I texted her, I found this recently, and I texted her and asked, and she was like, I was saving you from yourself. And I was like, what? This is insane. You're taping my mouth shut? Anyways, and I was very young there, so my teeth are kind of okay now, so maybe she did the right thing.
Oh, no. You know what? Parents always double down. They always think we're doing the right thing at the time. We're saving our kids, and they grow up, and they're like, what the hell were you doing?
I know.
And then we have to double down with our dumb, stupid things, you know?
But back then, I feel like very loose parenting or strict parenting, but it's very different than it is now.
Very different, yeah.
Very different.
I used to have a real issue sucking my thumb as well, to the point where my parents like would put on nail polish on my fingers and stuff. Remember that? Yeah, the nail polish.
Yes.
So it would be clear, but it's like a thick coating. Yeah, man. So then when you go to suck your thumb or whatever, this is gross, but it's only a matter of time till you like gnaw it off or like you chip it off or whatever, or you grow up to be like 25 and you're like, I should probably not suck my thumb anymore.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Something about this.
My sister had a retainer that had spikes on it, so when she put her thumb in it would hit the spikes.
Wait, spikes?
Yeah, not like crazy dangerous medieval spikes, but just like a spiked, like a cleated retainer.
wow.
Oh, that's
dude.
dangerous.
That's next level.
Okay, now Nigel and I have some questions for you. Okay.
Okay.
And, I asked the first one. Nigel, do you want to take the next one here?
Yeah. Okay. So Allison, this is what I want to ask you. What instrument, does I hope I'm saying this right, Tete?
Tay-Tay, yeah.
Yes. What instrument does Tete play? And that is your grandmother, and she's from Syria, yeah?
Yes, who came up with these questions?
It doesn't
Don't
matter.
even worry about it,
Doesn't
Al.
matter.
That's not for you to know.
Okay,
The dark web.
So Tay-Tay is my grandmother. Tay-Tay means grandma in Arabic. And she plays what's called the oud, which is a like 8-string kind of guitar.
Yeah.
And she's been playing for, I honestly think 10 years, and she doesn't know one song. Like, she can't do it. And right now, there's a man she found on Craigslist that teaches her for 2 hours a day, every single day, 7 days a week. I don't know where he lives or what this guy's about, but teaches her 7 days a week. And I mean, she's loving it. It's helping her get through the pandemic.
Yeah.
She plays that, and then she also plays violin.
Oh, beautiful.
Again,
Now,
doesn't quite have the song down yet, but she'll get there.
now that's something about the Johnston family that a lot of people don't know is that you got that half Middle Eastern blood in you.
I got the half Middle Eastern blood. Yeah, people never know because I don't look it. I have like blue eyes and I'm super pale. And so most people don't know, but I find that a lot of other Syrians know. They can tell based on my face, I guess. But yeah, my mom was born there. She was born in Damascus, and then she met my dad here in Toronto.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I was going to say it's definitely not based on your last name, Johnston. You know what I mean? Like, that's dead giveverway, you know?
Yeah. That's not a Syrian last name. Okay, on that note of Tay-Tay, what are Tay-Tay's tattoos?
Okay, Tay-Tay, you must have spoken to my sister. Tay-Tay has eyebrow tattoos and eyeliner. So this is actually a big thing in the Middle East. Yes, this is a big thing in the Middle East.
It is actually, yes, I know this.
Women will get their eyebrows tattooed, and I guess eyeliner. I had never heard of the eyeliner one.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's just, I think as you age, it gets a little more obvious that you've done that. So it's a bit weird now, but she's having a great time.
Oh, that's good. What they do in Pakistan is when they get old to hide their white hair is, you know, henna on the hand. They just use that henna in their hair, and then all their white hair turns orange. So you just see a lot of old Pakistani women and men with this black and orange hair.
It's interesting that there's certain cultures that really, well, I guess every culture in a way wants to keep up their appearance, but there's such specific things in the Middle East that they do.
Yeah.
That is very different from here. Like, they don't necessarily get work done, but it's like tattoo, eyebrows, always dyeing hair, always going to the salon. Like, always. That's kind of a weekly thing to go to the salon.
Yeah.
I didn't do any of that.
That's amazing. I mean, listen, for the Black culture, specifically like the Caribbean culture, I mean, we just wait till we're about 90 and then we show signs that we're old. Anyways, I'm going to ask another question. So, Allison, what is the name of Mike and Amal's business?
Oh.
What's the name?
Okay, it's called Johnston Condos. So my parents are both real estate agents, and they were teachers, and then they retired and became real estate agents. But they're like a duo, so their business cards are Johnston Condos, and it's a picture of them like together like this. But then they don't actually have proper cards made. Like, my dad just printed them out on the computer and then cut them. So it's a bit of a loose business.
Loose. Start out, am I right? I mean, come on. Okay, what about this, Allison? How many people can Tay sleep in her apartment?
25, easily.
Okay. Wow.
She has a two-bedroom apartment, but she has, you know, we got under the table, under a chair, on a couch, kitchen floor sometimes.
The bathtub too, yeah.
The bathtub is a big one. She can sleep 25 people comfortably.
This now sounds like Black culture. Like, this sounds like me going to my grandma's back in Jamaica. It's like, listen, if there's a room large enough for you to sleep, like if there's space large enough for your body, sleep.
Dude, that's a Pakistani household.
Yeah.
It's 100%. True. There's none of this like, oh, everyone has their own bedroom. Like, I shared a bedroom with my sister until I was like 15 or something. Like, nobody has their own room. It doesn't work that way.
Dude, me too. That was a privilege. It was like, wait, you don't want to sleep in the same room as this sister? Then go sleep in the other room with the other sisters, man.
Yeah, exactly. You've got two options.
I know, really. Holy moly.
Oh, man. Okay, we're almost done here. Let me ask you this. How old is your cousin George? Do we actually know, like, how old this guy is?
Okay, cousin George.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he's 20-something. I can't quite remember.
Okay, and what is his career aspiration, would you say? So,
cousin George is a DJ. So he has DJ'd family parties. We had a really great one during Christmas that my cousin like rented out their condo party room or whatever. So it was like a giant party room, and I think 10 of us, and he did DJ. It was great. A lot of dancing. It was really fun. So he's a DJ.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. Last question now because we also want to talk to you really quickly about the beautiful episode that you directed. But for the last question, what is Ghassan's best dish?
Ooh. So Ghassan's my cousin, and he's a very good cook.
Okay.
And he really, I think his best dish is probably hummus.
Ooh.
And I'm very snobby when it comes to hummus because of him.
Yeah.
Because I think he does much more than just like grinding up chickpeas and putting in olive oil. It's like he soaks the chickpeas for like a week. There's a whole process. It takes honestly a week for him to make it. He has all these toppings like pickles and turnips and pomegranates and olive oil drizzle on top. It's like major. So anytime, like, I can't have store-bought hummus. Even like when people make it, I'm kind of pretending to be nice and say I like it, but he just has the best shit.
Man. Yo, you can't trick a Middle Eastern person about hummus, man. That's like
no. Yeah. Because it became so popular here maybe, what would you say, 10 years ago, maybe?
Maybe.
And then everyone's now like, I don't know. It's too widely sold, I think, that it's not
Totally.
that cool.
Totally agree.
On that note, we're gonna jump over to episode talk. Quickly, how did you feel about, well, this was the first time that I got a chance to work with you, Allison, which was a complete joy and a complete pleasure to get to know you and to get to know you so fast, because when it came to the bits that you had to shoot, we really had to jump on it. And also, I believe the day that we ripped off the little white kid shirt, it was raining that day.
Oh, yeah.
So let's talk about the challenges of being a director when things like that happen, because that was very specific in terms of like where he was standing and how me and Kris had to walk down the street. So what was going through your brain and to navigate that challenge and to make that scene really work?
Yeah, I think when that stuff comes up, on that day, the first thing I did was think about, just put it in my head that no matter what, we're getting it done. I think because sometimes when problems come up, you can start spiraling out that it's not going to work out in the episode. We're not going to get the episode done. You can start freaking out. But I usually try to stay calm. Well, I tried to at least that day. But what we did was, I think we had that day production vehicles on standby, and we got a pop-up tent. And when it started raining, we would throw all the kids in the pop-up tent. And then the second it stopped, we would just go and try and get at least one take done. And specifically with that day, I think we had 4 locations that we had to go to. So we didn't really have a home base. We were very much on the road and on the go, which is stressful enough as it is.
Yeah.
So I'm honestly shocked that we got it done. I don't know what happened. I think everybody just kind of, I don't know, all hands on deck, and just nobody freaked out. Everybody was just game to make anything work. And I think that's how we got it done. But I remember being like, yowzas.
But also, you're the type of director that really likes to compose and really likes to, let's do this again. And that was really fun for me too, because it was like a lot of composition of let's get the frame right and let's do it again, because I like the preciseness that you have, Al. There's a really cool visual aesthetic that you bring. And it was because of the music videos that I was like, oh, this is perfect. That eye that Allison has works perfectly in this world that we're trying to create. And it was just, again, all that composition and all that idea of like, let's have fun in the frame, but let's make sure that we're getting a lot of action and a lot of interesting stuff happening.
You know, what's interesting about your series, and specifically this episode with sort of the comic book theme, is in comic books, like every single little panel tells such a story. Every single frame has so much information in it and so much specific stuff to kind of draw from. And I feel like you guys kind of brought that to your show. So when you originally approached me, I tried to, when I was storyboarding, I kind of tried to think of it that way, like almost like it's a comic book. Like, what story can we tell within this one shot? And I feel like that kind of goes through the entire series. You guys really made that consistent.
Well, thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks. Now, also, Nigel, I want to bring up a little known fact that when we had to do pickups, so this is the only episode that, well, no, this, and there was another episode we needed pickups for, but Allison got to stand in for Matthew for our pickups. So she got to be the little white boy, and hilariously, Allison's the same size as a little white boy. So it worked like freaking gangbusters, man.
I totally forgot about that moment. Yes, 100%. That's right.
Oh, I will not. I mean, this
everyone. I have the other one.
Yes!
She had a couple of copies of that, and I have the other one.
Oh, good.
I haven't worn it yet, but
you know what? When this is all over, let's meet up in Trin Bells, and we'll wear our Brother Cat shirts.
I would love that. We're gonna talk
Oh, beautiful.
Yes, beautiful. Allison, thank you. You are beautiful. Everything about you. Thank you so much for bringing everything that you had to our episode, to Shopping Day, because it turned out so well, and your voice is so clear, and what you had us do was fantastic. So thank you for all that.
Thanks, buddy.
Oh, guys, thank you so much for bringing me on. It was truly, we shot it last summer now. It was the best summer ever because I got to spend time with you guys and LaRue, and it was, everyone involved had the most positive, fun vibe, and that's, yeah, I still think of it fondly.
Oh, me too, buddy. Well, thanks, pal. Once
Thank
this is
you.
all over, we'll meet you in Trin Bells, okay?
Okay, great.
Trinity Bellwoods. He abbreviates everything.
Can't wait
Okay.
to hit it up. Okay, bye.
Bye, buddy. Love you. I'll
Bye.
see you soon.
Oh my goodness. Kris, that was fantastic. Allison she was the best.
Oh, she's the best, man. I adore that lady. I adore her so much.
Same. You know what? It was such a great experience to get to know her, to meet her and then get to know her and then just run around and shoot all the best things about my life running around for comic books, but about the things that we created and we wrote, man. So thank you for that. And I can't thank her enough for that.
100%. I totally agree. And you know what? I want to extend that out to everybody watching today. I cannot thank you guys enough for tuning in and watching with us. This is a Bit Players Watch Party. We just finished episode 2, but please tune in every Tuesday and Thursday. You guys can watch these episodes along with us. We start our episodes at 4:20, baby. So every Tuesday and Thursday, join in, and me and Nigel will be here delivering you fun and special guests.
And before the Tuesday or between the Tuesday and the Thursday or after the Thursday, make sure you check out all our socials at Bit Playas. So that is all the times you can reach out to us at Bit Playas on Facebook, on Twitter, on IG. Ask us questions. If you want more information about the show, we are happy to provide that for you. Man, I think that's all I got, bro.
I think that's all I got too, man. You want to go online and play some video games?
Oh, hell yeah. Let's go.
Okay, bro. We'll see you guys soon. Bye, bye, bye.
Bye. On behalf of myself, Nigel Downer, and Kris Siddiqi, and LaRue Entertainment, and the whole cast and crew that created Bit Playas, I'd be remiss if I didn't discuss or talk about Black Lives Matter. This is a huge movement that's happening right now that needs to happen right now to battle systemic racism. Police are killing Black men and Black women, and I think right now is the best time, the right time, to do your research, read books, watch documentaries, donate, help with charities, or even protest or march, whatever you need to do to help. Because Black lives matter.